All right, so today we are looking at dividing integers. A lot of similarities between dividing integers and multiplying integers. There are a lot. Before we get too far, I want to look at some similarities or some reverse patterns in math. So if I have like 6 plus 4, 6 plus 4 equals 10. I know I'm not going too fast for you. So 6 plus 4 is 10. The opposite of that is true. If I have 10 and I take away 4, it leaves me with 6. So what you can see there is if I have 6 things and I add 4 more, it'll give me 10. If I have 10 things and I take away 4, it leaves me with 6. So it's kind of like the opposite is true. It works with multiplication and division too. 3 times 7 gives me 21. And the reverse is true. 21 divided by 7 gives me 3. So what I want you to do is to make a conjecture. We said that in multiplication, a positive times a negative gives us a negative, and then 4 times 3 gives us 12. And we said that the opposite is true. So 21 divided by 7 gives us 3. So negative 12 divided by negative 3 gives us 4. So negative 12 divided by negative 3 gives us 4. So based on that, what can you say about the negatives and the positives for division? Think about that for a minute. Anybody notice a pattern? Relate the negatives to what we did for the positives. You see anything? Okay.
The same time of every time that the times negative you get positive, so negative divided by negative.
So good. I'll have her start teaching. The rules for division are the exact same rules for multiplication. It makes things really, really nice. When your signs are the same, so your signs are the same, your answer is positive. And the opposite is true. If your signs are different, then your answer is negative. So it makes it really, really nice. A lot of people say that multiplication and division is easier than addition and subtraction because of that reason. The signs are the same. So once you know what your answer is going to be, negative or positive, then you just have to worry about the numbers. Makes it much easier. Another similarity between multiplication and division is that you can write them in different ways. For division, you could write it as negative 10 divided by 5. You could also write it as negative 10 divided by 5. This one's easy for people to remember because the division sign looks like a fraction. If you see the division here, you got something on top, then the line is something on bottom. This kind of looks the same. This is relatively new, but sometimes you'll see it written like this. Negative 10 divided by 5. You ever seen it written like that? The reason that you see it written like that is because if you're writing it in like a Word document or a Google document or like texting, each of these is a character. So if I have negative, a 1, or a 0. So the reason that this looks this way is because these are each individual characters that can fit on the computer screen. This is more difficult to type onto a computer screen. That's why you'll see that. That's why you'll see that every now and then. See, Alex? And the last way that you'll see it a lot is like negative 10 divided by 5. You'll see it that way a lot also. And the reason that I mentioned all of these is because you're going to see all of them. They're going to show up in different places. They're all the same. They're all the same when you see them. Just remember, this is negative 10 divided into 5 groups, negative 10 divided into 5 groups, negative 10 divided into 5 groups. All right, let's look at some examples. So I've got 24, and I want to divide it by negative 3. Is my answer going to be negative or positive?
Negative 3.
Negative, yep, signs are different. Then 24 divided by 3? Yeah, 8, very good. Some people say, division is so much harder than multiplication. I have a hard time with division. Think of division as just the reverse. We set it up here. 4 times 3 is 12. The reverse is true. 12 times 3, or 12 divided by 3 is 4. So if I have 8 times 3, it'll give me 24. So the reverse is true. For our second one, negative 36 divided by negative 9. My answer going to be negative or positive?
Positive.
It is going to be positive. What times 9 gives me 36? Something times 9 gives me 36. 4, yeah. 4 times 9 is 36, so that means 36 divided by 9 is 4. Sign's the same, so it's positive. You guys got this so far? Let's look at another example. Zero divided by 4. Zero divided by 4. Who thinks they have an answer? Yeah?
0.
Good. So much confidence. Let's see if we keep that same confidence here. How about 8 divided by 0? Allie? Nope.
8.
Nope. Yeah?
0.
Nope. Randy? Nope. Joey? Nope. Jill?
That's not possible.
Mm.
I can't put not a good word.
So think about what we set up here. 4 times 3 gives us 12. 8 times 3 gives us 24. What times 0 gives us 8? Nothing, right? You can think of it like this too. So what if I have, I'm going to use tiles. Try to get it to you. All right, so I've got 6 tiles on here. I'm going to take my 6 tiles and I'm going to divide them into 2 groups. How many are in each group? 3. Or I can take 6 tiles and then divide them into 3 groups. If I divide them into 3 groups, 6 divided by 3 gives me 2. If I told you I had 0 divided by 4, if I have 0 things and I divide them into 4 groups, how many are going to be in each group? 0, right? So I've got 0 $100 bills, and I'm going to divide them among everybody in this room. How many $100 bills are you going to get? 0. I've got nothing here. So if I have nothing in 4 groups, there's nothing in each group, so it's 0. Here, I've got 8 things, and I'm dividing them among 0 groups. And you're thinking, well, that would be 0. Think of it like this. If I told you that you could work in a group of 3, how many people would be in your group? 3 people. If I told you you could work in a group of 2, how many people? 2, you and somebody else. If I told you you could work in a group of 1, how many would be in your group? Just you by yourself, 1 person in your group. What if I told you you could work in a group of 0? If you're working in a group by yourself, that would be a group of 1. Is it possible to work in a group of 0? No. Your answer is undefined. It is undefined. There is an answer. The answer is that it's undefined. The answer is not 0. The answer is not blank. The answer is that it's undefined. It's not a possible solution. Not possible. Let's look at one last. Actually, let's talk about this a little bit more, because if I have like 0 divided by 8, this is super confusing for a lot of people. This says that I have 8 things that I'm dividing into 0 groups. Not possible. This is saying that I have 0 things divided into 8 groups. That's possible, but each group is going to get 0. Notice here that that inverse is true. 0 times 8 is 0. Nothing times 0 gets you 8. That's why that works. If you wrote it vertically, it would be like 0 divided by 8. You could, because that's 0 things divided into 8 groups. That is possible. But if you have 8 things divided into 0 groups, that's not possible. It's confusing, I know it is. We'll be doing more of those this week. So the last example, you do not have to write all of this down. In fact, I have it on a separate paper, just so it makes it a little bit easier. All I want you to do is read the problem. Read the problem and then write down anything important from that. I'll give you a minute to read that. All right, so you guys have had a minute or two to look over this. So, elephant at a zoo lost 24 pounds over 6 months. The elephant lost the same amount of weight each month. Write an integer, that's important, write an integer that represents the change in the elephant's weight each month. So at the zoo, lost 24 pounds. How can I represent a loss of 24 pounds? All right, Allie. Yeah, that's represented with a negative 24. And they did that over a 6-month period. The elephant lost the same amount of weight each of those months. So what do I do with the 6? Josh, what do I do with the 6? Do I do 24 divided by 6, or do I do 6 divided by 24?
You do 24 divided by 6.
I love it, yeah. It's the 6 months that I'm dividing the weight by. So if I have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, that 24, I want to know what it goes into each and every month. I'm dividing that weight evenly among all those months. So taking 24 and dividing it by the 6 months. So I've got a negative divided by a positive. Is my answer negative or positive? Negative. What's 24 divided by 6? 4. This integer represents the loss of weight each and every month. Yes?
Yeah, but from that word off, how would you tell that it's negative 24? Because he's losing that.
Because it's a loss of 24.
I know, but like, you could be 24 divided by 6.
Yeah, and what you're saying is exactly right. So what you're saying is exactly right. You're saying, why can't I just do 24 divided by 6? That gives me 4. The elephant lost 4 pounds every month, right? So lost 4 pounds. Is losing 4 pounds every month the same as negative 4?
Yes.
Absolutely. These two things are saying the exact same thing. That's why I underlined that right there. Write an integer. Write a number that represents that change. Yes, an integer can be a negative or positive whole number. The problem is that the integer here is 4. It's not gaining 4 pounds, it's losing 4 pounds. That's what that negative represents.
Could you do like positive 24 times 6 because he loses 24 pounds? Wait, no, never mind.
Yeah, you were thinking
Yeah,
24 pounds each month, yeah.
Yeah.
If it was 24 pounds each month, you're exactly right, you would multiply. But this one's losing, so you gotta divide it among all those. Great questions. Any other questions about this one?